BYD's quality is up there, I think, with some of the best, Toyota and Honda. So it pleases me to no end to know that they've actually moved their target from January, 3 million vehicles, to 3.6 and now to 4 million. So 2 times in 1 year. Who else can say that? That's pretty crazy. So you won't believe how many vehicles they sold last month in one single month. And also the month before was only a little bit less. So we'll get into that in a minute. How are you going, folks? I'm Ben Alexander. For those of you that are new to the channel, I make EV news videos. Please feel free to subscribe at any time in the video if you'd like. I feel like I only just got back to Australia, but I've been here for 2 months now. I'm not Australian. I don't really consider myself living here permanently. Obviously, some of you think I do. I don't. I base myself in Scandinavia, really. That's where I live. So, yeah, I've been here a couple of months just to try and fix up a house, and that's what I'm up to. I can't wait to get back, actually. So the summer is also coming quickly here. I'm pretty keen to evacuate and get out of here because it's getting to 27, 28, 29, 30 degrees, that sort of thing. So I'm definitely a winter person. So thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate that. Let's jump back into it. In October, BYD sold 500,526 vehicles, electric vehicles, electric passenger vehicles. That's not including buses or anything like that, marking a 66% increase year on year from 301,095 vehicles in 2023 in October. Also, a 20% rise from the month before. So that was in September, they sold 417,603 vehicles. So 20% more than September in October. From January to October, BYD sold a total of 3.23 million vehicles, which is 36% more than the same period last year. BYD's official target for 2024, 3.6 million. They actually moved it not so long ago to 4 million. So, when you hit a target, you've got to move it. So like I said, they started with 3 million, then 3.6, and then 4. This is a ridiculous amount of progress. This is, I think, kind of why the European Union are a little bit concerned as to how successful Chinese companies are being. And they've got a very compelling product, which basically is way better than European equivalents. So BYD stopped selling ICE vehicles in April 2022. I can't remember the exact date, but it was in April. So all of their current vehicles are either full electrics or hybrids. That is what they're selling. So they're selling millions of those every year. Tesla have really been overtaken. I remember it was a year or 2 ago. I was doing a video, and I remember doing research and just making sure I get my numbers right. And I remember thinking they were pretty similar, really. BYD was overtaking. Now they're, doubling Tesla's sales. Incredible. Tesla sold 1.38 million vehicles in the first 3 quarters this year. They also sold 1.35 million in the same period last year. So there's not really any growth there, really. BYD sold 3.23 million vehicles in the same period. I believe that BYD can genuinely compete with big brands like they have been because of a few reasons. Let me know if you think these are wrong, by the way. Just pause it and write that below. Number one, I think that they get a lot of help, or they have had a lot of help from the Chinese government. Everyone says it, but that has kind of stopped mostly now. But they were given subsidies and also just cold hard cash. But that was only a fraction of their actual profits. So that was just a definite step up, a big help help by the government, which is kind of what government should be doing, I suppose. If they have a thing and they want to excel in something, help the people that are helping the country, basically. So this is a good thing. They did that. Number two, BYD hired Wolfgang Egger. He's the European designer. He also worked with Audi and Lamborghini, and he also made the Alfa Romeo 8C, which is infamous for being one of the best looking cars that you could have bought. Not that you should have, but it looked pretty. And yeah. Number three, the prices are good. They're compelling. They're competitive. They generally undercut most of the companies, Hyundais and Teslas and things like that. You get a similar product or a better product for less money. And not everyone really likes Tesla, Some people want to have a car that basically will drive as well as a Tesla and do 200 miles, but they don't want a Tesla. And up until this year or last year, it's kind of tough to think what could you get, you know. And so it's nice that we have the MG4, and these cars are coming for the masses basically, without having to spend money for a Tesla or big dollars on something else. So yeah, that's really, really nice. Anyway, definitely the market is now coming in with all these new cheaper cars like the Hyundai Insta and yeah, the BYD Seagull, which will be in Europe in the next year or two. I think you should be able to order that next year at some point. If you think I've left anything out, just let me know. Write in the comments below. A lot of people read the comments way before I do, like I always say, so it's kind of interesting when you write some stuff. Other people see it before I'll see it. I remember driving a BYD car in London. One of the earlier ones. Wasn't very good looking at all. I remember thinking, it's a little bit of an ugly car, and it drove really well. Really, really well, and that was 10 years ago. And those cars still knocking around, still driving, and I've actually seen them with over 130,000 miles on the clock in England, actually. Still driving, original battery. So yeah, I could probably get more views, honestly, if I rage baited this. If I rage baited an audience, like a lot of YouTubers do, simply because they want to try and monetize and get money. They don't really care about authenticity. I do. So it's important to me that I don't do anything like that. Everything I do and say is just researched and evidence-based and highly evidenced. So if I say it's true, it's true. A spoon is a spoon, as I always say. So I won't be doing any of that rage-baiting rubbish. What do you all think of BYD cars? Probably in the UK now, for example, you've had time to look at them. People are buying them. People are driving them. Have you been in them? Have you had a little test drive with family members or friends? What do you all think? Let us know in the comments. I do think that if you have an MG4 or say something like a BYD Dolphin, you are set for the next 5 years to have a great bit of driving in the UK for some for the driving roads, basically the B roads. That's pretty cool. So it's one of my favourite things about the UK is the driving roads. Yeah, what do you all think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient with me in the last couple of months. Not always uploading. I'm supposed to do this every day. That was the premise. I apologise. But thank you anyway for sticking around and for watching, and also dealing with the bad audio. A couple of people have mentioned about the audio. Why do I sound like a robot? It's because I literally am not using my professional mic or my pro mic. So I can't get it to work in the camera for some reason, so I have to fix that issue. Also, yes, I have legs. You just don't usually see them. Just in case you're wondering. Someone did actually ask that. Do you have legs? Yeah, I do. I really do. It's great.